But real talk though, man, this is Travis Brown, Horror Movies Uncut. You guys know the drill. Final Cut podcast. Your boy is midday. Just got finished wrapping up a bunch of festival coverage. But guess what's going on now? The homie James Cullen Bressack. I've been talking to him for about 2 years about this film that we saw the year before down at Fantastic Fest. And luckily, the crew was able to reach out to me and send me the movie again. I apologize if there's any delays going on. They got some construction. So if I kind of freeze for a second, but as long as you guys can hear me, I should be good to go. But if my video kind of freezes for a section, we've been having some fucking construction going on like crazy in the neighborhood. And I don't know what's the deal, but it'll catch back up pretty soon. But anyway, so we're here to talk about the film, The Workout, man. And like the thing that stuck out to me about this film right off the bat was the whole idea that you have like this kind of found footage, almost like straight in your face. You were following these marauders and what's going on in this story from start to finish. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with James. My first question is going to be for you, man. Plain and simple, The Workout feels like your return to the visceral, hands-on action filmmaking, something that's actually rare in today's superhero-saturated market. So I'm curious, how did you approach crafting an action story that feels both personal and punishing on an indie scale?
That's thank you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us first and foremost. And it's definitely it was an interesting journey. I had a wonderful collaboration with David Lawrence, who's on here as well when we were writing the script. We wrote the script together, and one thing that he and I really wanted to do was make the film not only break some bones, but also break some hearts. And so we got really, really deep into the emotion of it because we felt like if you were rooted in this character's journey, you would follow him absolutely anywhere. And that's kind of what we kind of tapped into. So it not only pulls on your heartstrings, but also it kicks some ass. And I think when the violence is so rooted in something real and something that you can feel yourself, that's when it feels so much more visceral. And I think that making it so personal, the character is continuously addressing the camera, talking to you. It makes you feel every punch so much more because when he's taking damage, it's like you're taking damage. Gotcha. And that's something that we really wanted to show in the filmmaking quality of the movie. Making this personal thing. And I had to start in found footage with horror when early on in my career. And I thought doing that with action would be so unique because I've never seen it done with action before.
Yeah. David, if you could piggyback a little bit as one of the writers on the project also, what were some things that you wanted to make sure came across instantly when people were tuning in to see The Workout from what you and James were working on together in the writing side of it?
Yeah, I mean, James nailed it. I mean, we really wanted to focus on the heart.
Man. Just great hair, like the whole entire time, dog. Just great hair.
Thank you, man. I was really big. I was watching a lot of Prisoners at the time with Jake Gyllenhaal. So
he pushed very hard to be able to have a tattoo on his neck because of that.
I wanted there to be ambiguity on, I wanted you not to know whether or not I was a good guy or bad guy. But no, like to what James was saying, like we really focused on the heart because, well, first of all, the heart, really, and then the justification of why there's a camera. If there's one thing I hate, it's when we're watching a movie like, a scary movie and it's found footage and you're like, why are you still holding the camera? Right. Let go of the camera, run. And so that was actually a big challenge, which was motivating why we have the camera. But once we got that, the memory loss deal, and we figured that out, we were like, okay, so they have to have a camera to show him later his own words. Then it really all clicked into place. And then, the idea of having all this other technology that was going to add to it really opened up James's ability to, really shoot kind of in a more fun style where we didn't feel like we were locked into
almost like a hybrid model, which
it's I just got finished talking to Chris Stuckman the other day about Shelby Oaks and his whole mockumentary style, but I think layer wise you guys killed it so much more because you're adding in surveillance cam, without getting away too many spoilers, you guys are hitting it from every single type of camera setup, so I think it really makes it stand out. My next question, though, man, I got to talk to the man, Peter. Bro, it's good to see you again. You played
But
Wyatt Park in the film. And of course, Wyatt's journey is both physical and emotional. Is a man fueled by grief, rage, duty. How did you prepare to carry that emotional weight while still performing such demanding stunt work? I mean, you guys got busy in the film, so I'm always curious.
um, first off, when James
He
and
did all his
David,
real quick. He did all his own stunts. Just want to be clear on that. He did it 100% of his
You
own
mean you
stunts.
don't know a lot of Asian people that look like him?
no, I love doing it. I loved every second, every blood, sweat, tears. I mean, you dive into the character, right?
Right.
I mean, honestly, first when James and David hit me up about doing this and leading it, I was like, whoa, like, I've been doing this for like over 20 years and I never got to have that kind of opportunity. So the first thing I said was like, oh, you're doing an Asian film? And then they were like, no, what are you talking about? And then I was like, all right, am I adopted? Why am I the lead? I'm Asian. And they're like, dude, man, we want to do this film and I'm go with my gut and see, and I think, I don't know if I'm making the right choice, but let's do it.
Yeah.
So I dove into it. And I just saw this as a great opportunity. I was so thankful to both of them for believing in me and the rest of the cast for even going on with the writing.
Okay, I'll bring it in when
trusting me to sit in that seat.
Thanks, man.
There's a lot of stuff that I had to do, like even as backstory too, as that wasn't written. As an actor, I'm sure everyone like finds their own little personal thing. So I'm Asian, so like I had to put like little things in there to really fuel me. That there's personal things like you don't really share with everyone, but as a backstory. So that really, really, really gripped me and really pushed me into that and to just go on. And as far as stunts go, it was fun, man. We me, Josh, and Ashlee met up with Luke, and we just just honestly.
All right. I'll be in there shortly.
We didn't have a game plan because we couldn't afford to do that, but we were just so invested in the character and the story that it just all came out, and so much fun doing it.
Yeah, man, I was fucking some people up in there, and
I'm
Ashlee here in a second, but I got to, of course, talk to the homie Levi, Joshua Kelly, real quick. So, Josh, man, you're kind of caught in between the worlds, man, right off the bat in this film, and you're caught between Wyatt's grief, your own sense of morality, what's going on with your situation with family. How did you find the humanity in a character that's stuck between loyalty, family, and survival?
Well, I mean, I used to be in the Army, and so and I was a Ranger. So there is this really, really like insanely tight, like Fast and the Furious brotherhood type thing. And so that, as far as the loyalty goes, that kind of comes.
You got Workout like 2, Tokyo Drift coming up. That's
exactly. Yeah, and the fact that he's married to my sister, it also, it's another layer of connection. And then the problems that I caused with again trying not to give too much away or whatever, but I tried to play it, like to have it be wearing on him subtly throughout the movie. And I hope that came across.
For sure. So, Ashlee, you're Tank in the film. There's a dude that lived right around the corner from me named Tank right now that I see on the block every day. So, of course, I was super happy to see that name pop up as your name. I spoke to you long time ago in your World Series of Fighting days when you were fighting back then for those organizations. So I'm always curious. You are a force in the movie. The minute that you're on there, you know what I mean? Fearless and fiercely loyal. How did your MMA background help you tap into the physical power and precision for this role?
Yeah, the physicality was, and I'm not surprised, but my favorite part of everything. I love the acting, and it was pretty fun to get in touch with my character Tank, which, if you know me on a personal level, it was kind of like an easy transition. I believe David wrote some of the character with me in mind, as I was told. So I feel like that helped me out a bunch. But the physicality part, it had its pros and cons. Being a professional athlete, you learn real technique, and it doesn't transfer perfectly. You have to learn how to pull your punches, and first and foremost, safety.
Mm-hmm.
And in the MMA world, you're trying to hurt the person. So it's very different in those aspects. But to kind of like act as if I was a warrior, that was, I could turn it on, and it would be very different because it would be everyone talking, and then all of a sudden James would say, "All right, here we go," and it's like just easy to get into that physicality because of all my years of being in the cage. And when it's time to fight, you just shut up and fight. So there was pros and cons to it, but overall it was fun the whole time. I just need a lot of more stunt training to feel that I'm 100% safe with who I'm working with, and I think that will come with time.
Oh yeah, for sure. You kicked ass though, man. Like big talk. Like you got busy in there. So
one of my favorite.
Yeah, go for it, James. Go for it.
One of my favorite memories of filming though was watching Josh like walking Ashlee and Peter through like how to like hold the guns and like go through rooms and stuff, and it was very funny watching them all do that.
They talk with their hands.
Josh
man.
was
they
like our like hands-on like gun training on set. It was awesome because being 4 tours of duty, he has a lot of experience with that, so he brought some authenticity to that. But it was interesting seeing like Ashlee approach that like from an MMA background, but she was like repeating like the gun stuff like as if it was like a fight move. It was fun to watch.
That's what's up. So Augie, go ahead, Ashlee. Go ahead.
I should say, big shout out to Josh. It was, how many times does that happen where you have a script where it's former Army Ranger and then one of the actors playing is legit that person? It was like so cool to have someone we could actually ask questions and get legit answers from. Otherwise we'd have to Google and crap, which I'm sure wouldn't been us.
Oh, I did a ton of Googling. Basically, we were originally going to have Navy SEALs because I'm an idiot. And then when James was like, "Oh, why don't we're going to hire Josh Kelly?" and I was like, "Okay, he's an Army Ranger," and I was like, "Oh, well, let's just change him to Army Rangers. We'll have our own guy who could recommend stuff." Then I had to go online and learn what an Army Ranger was.
Like,
and I was an idiot for Navy SEAL.
Between the
Army Rangers are. Oh, Army Rangers are fucking badass. Like they are way crazier than like SEALs. They're like they're the tip of the spear for like operations. So I had to go in and I actually did a bunch of research to there's quotes and there's even in Peter's monologue I like brought in things from the Army Rangers just so that it would match properly. And I was like, I was foolishly thought that I would play the Levi character. And when James mentioned Josh, I thought to myself, duh, that's the move. I was like, I couldn't do shit compared to Josh. So.
You would have been great. You would have been great.
Yeah.
Not like you.
So Monroe's character, Augie, is kind of just like thrown into the mix on some things going on in here. So I'm curious, like, I don't know too much about your background, Augie, but it looks like you do well in chaos. So I'm curious to how things were on set while you were there.
I'm a huge action hero. People just want to do stunts all the time.
Augie's a fantastic actress who's been in many, many things. Except she has not been in Yellow Jackets. Just putting that out there.
Really fucking funny though. Excuse my language, because I'm so famous for the last 2 weeks. Everyone thinks I'm in Yellow Jackets, and I'm like, sure, yes, I'm in Yellow Jackets.
What the fuck is that shit? But anyway,
you know what? I'm gonna take it because
get your money. Just make sure you're getting some money. Like if they gonna put that on you, make sure you're getting some money.
I need a little percentage of the Yellow Jackets.
So when James approached you about this film, what were some of the initial things you wanted to make sure people kind of got?
Augie, tell the story of what you did.
Tell the story, boy.
Let's go.
So it was like post-strike, the business was slow, and he was like, I got 2 possibilities for you in this movie. Either there's the doctor or there's the prostitute. I was like, prostitute. And then he goes, David and James were like, can we read you the scene? We would love to read you the scene. And David read for Monroe the part. And I was like, why am I doing this? David needs to play Monroe. That was how I did the movie. They killed it, but I'm like, why am I even in this movie? Monroe.
So James, the found footage element gives the film its pulse. What was the biggest technical or creative challenge in keeping that raw POV energy while maintaining clarity and emotional depth? And you kind of talked about it a little bit, you and David, with what you guys were doing with the camera, but I wanted to know if you can embellish a little bit more on that.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that was really difficult is, it's not really written in a way where it says how each scene is filmed. So, me and my DP, Brian Koss, would walk into each environment and it felt like I was almost like, robbing a bank. I would like be looking like, where would all the cameras in this room be hidden? Like, oh, there's a camera. Oh, that's where I could be. Like, I'm like, how did I so I'd like point to different areas of where a camera would be. Like, there would be a surveillance camera over there. There's a camera on that computer because it has a thing, like everything. And, I had done some research and like the CIA and, like NSA, all these different organizations have the ability during like a terrorist situation or whatever to tap into all cameras, in order to triangulate somebody's positioning. Think about like, cell phone cameras, everything. They can do all of that at once. And so it was taking that tool and having the film go from that aspect. And I was reminded of that scene at the end of Chronicle, Josh Trank's Chronicle, where they throw all the iPhones in the air, and then boom, they're able to shoot it from many different angles. And so I was like, okay, how do I take a found footage movie and as the film evolves, have it, evolve with the film? So it's very rudimentary found footage. And as they get new tools, as the film progresses and the characters get more and more detached from their reality, Peter's character gets more and more detached from reality. It moves more into feeling like a film and less like a real found footage thing because his character is leaving reality. And that's kind of, but I also grounded it in all places where a camera would actually be. Yeah. And so we kind of play with that a lot, and it's a tightrope dance that we do. But I think it's interesting as it progresses. And also when I spoke with RJ Cooper, my editor, one thing that I said to RJ is, you're not editing the movie as RJ, you're editing the movie as Glitch. Yeah. And so the character of Glitch, how he would edit this movie. Okay. And so that was something to like, it was the first time he had to role play while editing. I think that was fun for him.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So Peter, for you and Josh, I'm curious, what was it like acting through that lens? The camera's not just on you guys. You guys are the camera. You're with the camera. Like, how was it for both of you guys? Peter, we could start with you acting through that.
Yelling the word cameraman over and over again.
Honestly, it was challenging at first, but honestly, once we got into it, it just came like second nature. Like of course we had to angle certain things, but we were just ready to go. We're like joking around. Josh was always like, I didn't know I was going to be a cameraman, But
no, they were all very great at doing it.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was like, yeah, exactly. It wasn't as hard as you made. At first, like I said, it was a little challenging, but once you get into it, you're just so immersed. Like you mentioned the stunts before. Like the stunts, we would show up. We didn't even know what we wanted to do, but we knew what we wanted to do. Like we didn't know what, we had no game plan, but we it just came along. Luke was just like, and it was great to have Luke on the side just encouraging us, like, dude, man, this usually takes like weeks of rehearsal before we shoot, and you guys are just doing it on the whim, man. This is crazy. What's going on? And we're just locked in. Me and Josh were just locked in, and even for us, like even first meeting, me and Josh, we didn't even know each other. We just saw each other walking to David's apartment just to shoot the first shot, and he was sizing me up a little bit, I could tell, but but we bonded, and and after that, we really felt like this visceral bond, like on this journey, and it was I couldn't have asked for like a better brother-in-law to play, to ride this with. So yeah,
that's what's up, Josh. Did something just click, or like, can you piggyback a little bit more on that?
Travis, let me just jump in real quick. Just for people at home, Luke LaFontaine. He's the stunt coordinator. Just to show who Peter was referencing.
That's who Lucas is. Okay.
Yeah.
He's
great. He's really good at improvising, and he took us out ahead of time, and we rehearsed and practiced, and so I didn't realize that he was learning kind of what we were good at and what our strengths were. Like he noticed I could pick up kicks pretty well because of like Taekwondo as a kid or whatever. And so he would incorporate kicks on my fights and stuff. And we each had our own like kind of fighting style. And with the camera, it was kind of fun because it's another way to stay engaged. Like this set was so like bam, bam, bam. Like even when it's not necessarily your coverage, you're covering someone else. So
Right.
it was like you got to kind of become another character. And like Peter said in the beginning, it was like sometimes people were out of frame or whatever, but then you kind of just realize you just kind of lift your chest up a little bit and then you move your hands the same way, but and it was fun. It was like
David,
another level of engagement.
is that something you think about when you're writing? Like the fact that somebody might be out, is that something that you think about
Yeah.
writing? Like, man, somebody might be out of camera, somebody might not be having this shit set up right. Is that something that you have to really kind of fight with when you guys are writing this project and putting it
Well,
together?
I'll say the one thing that I thought about the most was because, like I said, I thought I was going to play Levi. So I made sure if I was going to have a chest cam, I knew that I was going to be getting camera direction and acting direction. So I gave Levi very few lines so
Okay.
that I could focus on camera direction.
Okay.
And then when it became Josh's problem, I think he was pretty happy that he didn't have too many lines so that he could be holding a camera. And he had to take like camera direction, and then he was remembering camera direction. And then also I have to act opposite of somebody. So like in a scene where I come into the apartment, you can't see it from my perspective, but I'm looking at Josh standing like a raptor in order for like the camera to be like facing the right way. So he's trying to act normal, but also his body looks like a raptor. So
Yeah, I found that out. I had a big day at work. I was still working on the soap opera on General Hospital, and David was driving me back from set from our movie at night, and I was like, it's really fortunate that I don't have. And he was like, "Yeah, I thought I was gonna be Levi," and I was like, "Oh, well, thanks, man."
He's like, man, I don't have no lines to worry about. Ashlee, with Tank's character, the last thing that I'm going to ask you is, the film already has so much great energy, and then when you really step your foot into the film, the energy even changes and picks up after that. But I'm curious to how you built that balance between aggression and empathy for your character Tank, especially still also focusing on, hey, I got to be this Army Ranger. I got to know, my movements and stuff like that.
The balance was pretty easy. I feel like it's an emotional situation where obviously these are my brothers, and I feel so torn up about what's happened to, my brother's wife and all that. But at heart, I'm an Army Ranger, and these are my brothers, so I know how to take care of business when it's time for business. So I feel like, just like with MMA, it's like you can be as emotional as you want, but you have to find calm in the chaos. And when it's time to go, you go. And so as an actor, it felt kind of similar, where it was just tap into the emotion, but when it was time to get physical, like do the same thing. And I love Tank's character. I think she is very similar to me, tough on the outside, but just would bleed and die for her brothers at the same time. So yeah, that balance, not everything in life is easy to balance, but that balance came pretty easy.
That's what's up. Well, folks, I would love to keep talking to you guys, but I know we all got to keep it moving throughout the course of the day. But I really, really appreciate sitting here talking with you all about the workout. I got one more thing for everybody, and it's pretty much about the takeaways from the film or some of the things that might surprise people. James, first and foremost with you, what's one takeaway you hope people get after seeing the workout? We got the big LA premiere coming up. It's this weekend, right? This Sunday.
Yeah. So we are very fortunate. We had
selling
two
out
different,
like Alamo, the Sin Lounge, selling out everywhere.
Cinelounge and Alamo both
Right.
sold out.
Let's go.
Alamo sold out within 48 hours. Cinelounge sold out within 24 hours. Alamo has just now added another showtime.
That's what's
so
up.
it looks like we have like a day to sell that one out, or we got to at least try. I'm super blessed that I was able to make such a crazy, weird movie like this that's fun and unique, and I got to do it with my friends. Like all the people on here are actual friends of mine, and like we all got to hang out, and they brought so much to the table. So I hope you see how powerful of a performance Peter gives. I hope you see how empathetic and kick-ass Ashlee is. I hope you feel for Augie, because she is such a beautiful character in this that is trying to do good. I hope you think that David may or may not be a good guy or a bad guy, and it was great collaborating with him. And I hope you really are put in the position of Josh Kelly's character, because he is basically through line of the story that almost, because his character is almost filming a lot of the time, he puts you in the seat of where the audience is, what they're experiencing. They want to feel for Peter's character, but also at the same time, they're kind of like, why are we really doing this? This is going a little too far.
Right.
And I think that Josh really plays that beautifully. So I hope that you take from this, when you see this movie, a kick-ass time, but also all these individuals that were involved. I hope you can give every single one of them their flowers, because they totally deserve it. And I'm so blessed that I got to work with these people.
We love you, James.
David, what about you, man? What about you, brother?
I also wanted to throw in BJ Hendrix in there. He played the doctor.
Yeah,
And,
BJ.
BJ was great. He's literally also dealing with us with our like cameras on our chests and having to do a bunch of like, you know, doctor lingo, but he did a great job. I'd also say take away, you know, go make a movie with your friends. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have all the greatest things, you could still go out there and do it. And that's what James wanted to do. He put out a message for his birthday saying, hey, I want to make a movie. Who's with me? I make a movie every year. And everybody came out and did it. And while James has a lot more favors that people can offer him and a lot more access than many people, there's nothing stopping other filmmakers out there from going out and shooting a movie with their friends because they love making movies. So
hold on, Dave, use this opportunity to plug the fact that you just did that right now. He's filming a movie as we speak. He's on his day off.
That's what's up.
That's right. Yeah, shooting my movie Lincoln Must Die, which is my first leading role. So and I wrote
let's go. That's why that hair is still looking on point. That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right, Peter, what about you, man? Tell me what's going on up there in Big Bear, bro.
Honestly, I'm just so grateful to everyone that's part of this project. For me, it was a dream come true, honestly, and to be able to like piggybacking what David and James were saying, like, you know, just being able to do this during the strike and doing it with your friends. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so proud of everyone that's part of this project, from everyone, like I'm talking about from Crafty to Grips to the stunt guys to extras that showed up and rode this journey with us. Like, and just for this, we really became like a family, you know, and I'm, like I said, I'm repeating myself, but I'm so proud. And you just got to take, like, when things aren't happening, sometimes we're like, oh, we need to do something, but you have to get together with your friends, because that synergy is crazy. And honestly, every day was like a dream come true. It was like movie magic. Every day we were looking at each other like, oh my gosh, like something special is going on that's beyond our control, like that's happening. And we all felt it. And at the end of it, we just, you know, everyone has that cloud nine euphoric feeling at the end of a shoot, but like, me and Josh were sitting and James, we went for a drink, and then Josh, I was sitting in my car. He wouldn't leave my car. I'm like, yo, man. He's like, we're all emotional. I'm like, damn, man. Like, we really felt like the characters. Really, like, I really felt like I was sitting with my brother-in-law. Like, you know. That's what's up. And I don't know what it's like to be like an Army Ranger, but Josh was like, he showed me. You know, he brought me into this world. So I'm thankful to him. I'm just, you know, I just, you know, I'm grateful. That's it. So
that's what's up. Josh, what about you, man?
I mean, everyone hit on most of the things. It's awesome. And make a movie with your friends. You learn a lot. It inspires you so much more than some of the jobs that some people think are better, like higher paying acting jobs, even, you know. And I do want the audience to know, like, it was all us. It was all our own stunts, all of us doing our own stunts and just like kicking ass. And even, you know, we were talking about the one of the scenes, we have ski masks on. James was like, why did I write, no one's gonna think this is you guys just wailing away on everybody, but it really was us.
There are no stunt doubles in this entire movie. They all do 100% of their own stunts.
Yeah. And Ashlee, what's something you hope people take away after seeing the film?
I mean, yeah, everyone pretty much touched on it. It's just, you know, an exciting action movie that has a legitimate storyline to it. And one thing I learned a lot from Luc LaFontaine. He's such a great guy. He's just OG. He tells you a story, you know, you're listening for hours. He's got a million of them, and they're actually awesome to hear because he's done so many cool things. But you know, he would tell us that you're not just fighting for shits and giggles, it's got to make sense. So, you know, the storyline makes sense, but the way that we actually fight makes sense, and there's a reason to it. So it's not just something that's thrown together. James broke it down why it's done the way it's done, but I think when you watch it, you know why, because it's just the storyline, everything comes together. So it's a kick-ass movie that really makes sense. It's not just kind of mushed together, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally does. Totally does. Thank you for being candid. And Augie, what about you? Last but definitely not least.
Yellow Jackets.
Yellow
I'm
Jackets.
kidding.
Yellow Jackets. Goddamn.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I was on a different show, but not Yellow Jackets, but it's okay.
She was on the Mayans.
I was on Mayans for 3 years. Yeah. But anyway, and there's some really beautiful things coming out soon, which I'm really grateful for.
Hey, well, we're going to be looking forward to it.
Thank you. But I think what everyone touched on, it's just work with your friends. It has so much heart. It has so much heart. And I always want to work with friends. Sorry, I lost my voice because I'm super sick right now. But
oh, it's all good. That's why so we ain't got to be by your 6.
I thought you were just getting choked up, Augie.
Yeah, I know, right? I thought she was getting emotional.
She like, no, this is a poem, fam.
Academy Award goes to Augie and her condo. No, I would work with any of these guys again. I just want to do more action next time, James.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to see you in a villain role or something. Like, I'd be down.
Yeah, I mean, I would say to anybody who wants to make a movie, stop waiting for opportunity, create your own opportunity.
Yep.
Right.
Big facts, big facts. Well, folks, guess what I got to go do? I own a gym, so I actually got to go work out a whole
Workout.
So I appreciate your time. I appreciate being to get a chance to see the film again. Super excited for you guys with the LA premiere. I can't wait for this to hit everywhere so people can get a chance to see it. James, I already hit you up. I got to see if I can get this at the local Alamo. You know how we do. But best of luck with the workout, everybody. Appreciate you guys so much. And I look forward to seeing every single one of you guys doing something here in the